Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to NXT The Game Season 2, Episode 101. Today we'll be going over the brand split roles for Rage, which is in red, and Resistance, which is in blue. Behind me today, I have Cohen. Cohen, what's going on?
What up?
And I also have Easton. Easton, what's going on?
Hi.
Alright, and we're going to quickly get into the rules because we don't have a lot of time here today. We're going to go from the top to the bottom, starting with the bullet points. Bullet point number 1. NXT roster to be split, shows renamed, Rage and Existence, pretty self-explanatory. Second, Rage and Resistance will each have their own commissioner. Triple H will continue to serve as CEO and owner, and he will be, he'll be able to float over both shows, as well as maybe some of the backstage interviewers, such as Kathy Kelly, Renee Young's type of deal. Next up, Rage and Resistance both will feature 3 championships. The NXT Junior Heavyweight Championship is being renamed the NXT World Championship. Weight limits are lifted immediately. The rest remains the same status quo. Rage and Resistance at the outset will feature a men and women's singles championship and men's tag team championships. As the series progresses, we will reevaluate all tournaments to be co-branded. Rage and Resistance to receive at least 3 additional male workers and 2 additional female workers with the separation of the NXT into individual Rage and Resistance brands. This is to kind of fluff out the card a little bit, guys. You know I have my NXT developmental brand, and I will begin to bring guys back in from that developmental brand quicker than I usually do it, and I'll bring some people that I've been sending to work down there to refresh them on the storylines, because we are going to need all hands on deck. Next, the NXT UK, our developmental brand, will continue to operate the same, aka status quo. And lastly, NXT remains on the same taping schedule with Rage and Resistance alternating weeks. This will remain the schedule through the rest of Season 2, which will be roughly 26 to 28 more episodes. Each will receive its own branded takeover event and a cross-branded event, Takeover Legacy, or WrestleMania. Now, what I'm going to have to do is each show, so for example, for the first episode Rage, I have it as a Rage brand with the Rage announcers. Then after, I will have to go in, change the brand split to the Resistance brand, and put the Resistance roster. Now, this doesn't seem ideal. I understand. As long as I don't forget, it's not a big deal, but I kind of like the alternating week schedule without having to book so many additional shows, but still splitting the rosters. That is what we are going to do for the remainder of this season to see how it works. Anyways, this is me, Mikey Bro here, for NXT The Game, Season 2, Episode 101, The Brand Split Explained. Thanks for watching, everyone, and have a
glorious
rest of your day. And we're going to start off the Rage Resistance NXT brand draft with Rage getting the first pick and taking the glorious one, Bobby Roode. And with Bobby Roode heading to Rage, we're going to get Roderick Strong, the former NXT Junior Heavyweight Championship holder, now the NXT World Heavyweight Championship holder, weight limits removed. Roderick Strong brings his talents to NXT Resistance. Next up for Resistance, as we're in a snake draft, is the NXT Women's World Champion and one half of Manifest Destiny, Asuka. Will anyone be ready for Asuka on Resistance? We'll have to find out. And coming to Rage now are the 28-time defending NXT Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, Akam and Razor, the authors of Pain. Still undefeated in NXT. Will they be defeated on the Rage brand? We'll have to find out. And also, given that Asuka went to Resistance, the NXT Women's Intercontinental Champion Ruby Riott will land on the Rage brand with her brothers-in-arms of the Eldring Dynasty, Ruby Riott, heading to Rage. And with the authors of Paige heading to Rage, that means Sanity will be heading to Resistance. Eric Young, Alexander Wolf, Killian Dane, and Nikki Cross all together find their way to the Resistance brand here in NXT. The new NXT United States Championship Tag Team holders are on Resistance. And the fourth pick for Resistance now, the first pick that is not a champion, is Mr. and Mrs. NXT, the former NXT Heavyweight Champion after losing to Bobby Roode. Mr. NXT makes his way to Resistance with the Mrs. NXT. Next up, the first non-championship pick for Rage is Sami Zayn, member of House NXT. Sami Zayn is the first non-champion for the Rage brand to be selected. He finds his way to the NXT show Rage. And coming with Sami Zayn is another former NXT heavyweight champion of the world, Drew McIntyre, the Scottish Saint, lands on Rage here on the NXT brand split draft. With the first shock of the draft, Johnny Gargano, without Tommaso Ciampa, is heading to the Resistance brand. DIY has been split up and separated. Where will Tommaso Ciampa land? I'm not sure, but as of now, Johnny's going it alone. But a tag team that is coming to the Resistance brand is none other than Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder, The Revival. The Revival head to the Resistance brand and will top the NXT tag team division. Along heading to Rage is the runner-up in the NXT Mega 12 Juniors, Aleister Black, lands on Rage. What exactly is he capable of on the Rage brand? We'll have to wait and find out, but rumors have it Aleister Black is very upset after not being a top 5 pick and has many words for those at Rage, including Commissioner William Regal. And now the first surprise of the NXT brand split draft, the return of one half of formerly American Alpha, one half of formerly Gable and Benjamin. Chad Gable is returning home to NXT, where he lands on the Rage brand. Rage wrestlers beware, Chad Gable is coming back to NXT. Resistance, with a shocker here, says whatever you can do, I can do better, as they take the winner of the inaugural Mae Young Classic, the Princess Pirate herself, Kairi Sane. She will be landing on the NXT Resistance Blue brand, shocking everyone, as there had been rumors Kairi Sane had been signed to a full-time contract, but until now, it only been just rumors. Next, landing on Resistance is a man who's upset he hadn't been taken to the top 5 as well. Former NXT heavyweight champion, the Idolo Andrade Cien Almas, lands on the Resistance brand, where he will cross paths with those of the Revival, also Gargano, and he looks ready and primed to make a statement on Resistance. First non-championship woman on the Rage brand will be none other than the hugger herself, Bayley. Bayley lands here on Rage after losing her NXT Women's World Championship to Asuka and then losing again at Brooklyn 4. Not only will Bayley have a chance to get away from Asuka and regroup, but she will be one of the lead females on the Rage brand going forward. And talking about returns, none other than Hideo Itami himself, the man who was never pinned. Aleister Black was pinned in the juniors match at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4 and 100, but Hideo Itami is going to be on the Rage brand aside from Roderick Strong, who he was chasing. How that shakes out for Hideo Itami, we're not sure, but we're going to have to tune into Rage to find out. And another shocker here, Lars Sullivan is taken in the NXT brand split draft. Lars Sullivan landing on the Resistance side of things. The Resistance general manager / commissioner must see a lot in Lars Sullivan because he's coming to the blue brand aside from many Resistance stars. And landing on the blue brand as well is the Irish lass kicker herself, Becky Lynch. The last of our 10 selections we will be recapping for Resistance and Rage each. The rest, guys, you're going to have to wait and find out the surprises. But Becky Lynch lands on the Resistance brand, where the Irish lass kicker will try to take on again Asuka, put herself in contention, and will be one of the lead females on the Resistance brand. And last, but certainly not least, the boss, Sasha Banks, lands on the Rage brand after just turning heel. She'll be chasing down Bayley on Rage, and you know what? If Bayley thought she was getting away from Sasha, she's not. The boss, Sasha Banks, is on the Rage brand. This will be it for the 10 picks of each brand that we're making. The rest, guys, you're going to have to tune in to Rage and Resistance to find out, and it's going to be coming fast, and it's going to be coming heavy. Get ready for NXT brand split.